afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do our 300th ride review on the Peloton, and I'm very excited to share that with you. When I first got the Peloton, I did a an initial review, and then I did a 90-day review. And in both of those, I talked about a couple of things that I really liked about the Peloton, and a couple of things that maybe I wasn't as crazy about. Well, now after 300 rides and having the bike for over 9 months, I think I can give you a really good assessment of what it's like to be a Peloton owner, the key wins, and then maybe the couple of things still that I would say potentially can be different with Peloton. The first thing I want to talk about is just the ability to ride every single day, irregardless of weather. Peloton does an amazing job of having a ton of classes, a ton of different styles of music, and they've added on a bunch of stuff, even in the 9 months that I've had my bike, like beta rides where you can ride live against a group of people that are doing the same ride as you, which is my absolute favorite because I can't always get on a live ride, and some of the live rides I just don't want to do right. This gives me a lot more options. Do I want to do a 20-minute live ride? Do I want to do a 45-minute live ride? Can I ride against other people, which keeps me absolutely competitive, and I love that feature. So the beta ride is absolutely amazing. The kind of the breadth and scope of what they have for artists available is absolutely incredible. They have done a great job. They just had their artist series for July 4th, and they had a ton of different artists doing different live rides, different things like that. They just do a great job. The selection of instructors they have, from folks that'll let you have an easy ride. My favorite when I first started was Hannah Corbin. I think she did a great job, but I find a lot of her rides are more low impact or more low key. As I progressed along, I found a ton of instructors that I really like riding with, and I don't want to, forget about anybody. Jen Sherman, Emma Lovewell, Dennis. I do like all of these rides. I think they do a really great job, and it's cool to see all that different, different options you have out there, and the different styles of the different, people that are out there. It's just a lot of fun to go out and do. So the ability to find a ride that you really like is awesome. The new rides I just did with the guided rides, the scenic rides with the instructors, they're great too. I've done a couple of those. I also like the rides to distance versus time. So the 5K and 10K rides that they have, if I'm looking to just get a quick ride in. I try to ride every single day. Since I've had the Peloton, I've missed, I think, 6 or 7 days total in the 9 months. A couple were at Disney, and then just recently I've been doing a lot of outdoor rides. And just a couple of days, to be honest, I just haven't felt like I've had the energy to go in and put my best effort forth on a ride. What I was doing when I first got the bike is I was obsessed with getting that blue circle every single day, and I still want to try to do that, but I'm not going to go in and just do a 10-minute ride just for the sake of doing that now. So I think for me, great job with content, variety, all that stuff. Couple things I wish they did a little bit more. I'm not going to hit on price in this review. If you want to see that, check out the links to my other reviews in the video. I'll throw them in there for you. I've talked about price a couple of times. If you've owned it for 300 rides like I have, you've made a decision to ride quite a bit. The price now is a non-factor for me. I don't think about it a whole lot because I do use it a lot. But I will talk about a couple of things that I wish we were a little different. One of the things I wish, on specific types of music, it's a little tougher to find a lot of rides. I think, I've almost exhausted the country library. I do love country music. So I wish there was maybe a little more variety in that space. I would also tell you, like, some of the older rides, like, there's not a ton out there if you want to get beyond. Like, there's a lot of 90s and 2000s rides. I'm almost 50. I'd like maybe some more rides in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Even some of the 50s rides, I think it'd be pretty cool. Again, it's a little different, right? Trying to stay high energy with some of those rides. That's just a personal preference I would like to see in there a little bit more. And I do feel like with the beta rides that we have cut back a little bit on the live rides, specifically at night. I do tend to get to ride at night. I was a little bummed out when I did my 300 ride. I'd like to try to get a shout out on some of the milestone rides, and I wasn't able to because it just wasn't a live ride, and I wasn't going to wait 3 or 4 days in between riding. I did a quick 10-minute ride to get my 300th. I had done an outdoor ride first, and I went in and did this ride to get my 300th because I just wanted to get a ride, and I felt good. It seemed like it was the right time. Mondays are a great night for me to ride. Tuesdays are a little more challenging because when I ride, I have my workouts on Tuesday with my trainer, so it gets to be a little bit more challenging. So I try to find a ride that makes sense for me. But again, I would say, the pros vastly outweigh the cons. They just do a great job of giving you a ton of variety, a ton of classes, a ton of different ways to work out. And I don't even do the strength workouts or any of the other stuff out there. My buddy Brian, who's gotten way into it, he's like my the guy that pushes me, right? He's my rabbit, I guess I would say, because he's always within 50 or 60 watts of me on some of these rides, and it's getting pretty close. And I got to keep pushing myself to stay in front of Brian. Brian's like, I want to say 16 or 17 years younger than I am, and he's in great shape. He does an awesome job, so we have a lot of fun challenging each other. And I think in the Peloton, the big piece of this is community. Like, the more you can get involved in the community piece, the friends that you have to have the bike, call them, send them text, email, all this stuff's going to keep you motivated. It's kept me doing a pretty good job of keeping this weight off that I've lost. I'm down 120 some odd pounds. I've gained a little bit of weight back the last couple of months, and if you've seen my journey, I've been talking about that. I've been really focused on trying to get back focused on that weight loss piece, because I have gained back a few pounds that I want to lose back. But I still feel great. I'm down, from 320 at my highest into the mid 190s. I was as low as 189, so we want to get back down to there. But I would just say, again, in this particular instance, if you're thinking about buying a Peloton, I will give you this one piece of advice. If you can afford it, and that's not a knock against people that can't, it's an expensive piece of equipment, but if it fits in your budget and it makes sense for you, buy it. You will use it, you will love it, you will have variety, you will find a way to work out. And I just saw this study that talked about people that have Pelotons tend to work out, I think it's like 30% more than people that just have a gym membership. And I 100% believe that's true. So my advice is, get a Peloton if you want one. Make sure you buy a foam roller if you don't have one. This is a lifesaver. If you don't, your legs are going to hate you for it. Foam roll before and after. There's tons of classes that talk about that as well. This is not a Peloton foam roller. I think I paid $20 for this like 10 years ago. I use it all the time. It's great. But if you don't have one, use it. It'll make a world of difference for you on the rides. And here's my challenge to you. Can you get to 20 watts per minute? That is the goal. That's what I do. That's what pushes you in the top 1% of riders in the country or in the world. If you can get to 20 watts per goal, you can do it. You can do that a couple of different ways. I tend to do it with resistance rides to help me with my outdoor rides. I tend to ride a lot of hills outside, so I want to keep pushing myself to be better on the hills. So I do anywhere between 90 and 100% resistance for 20 to 30 minute rides, and anywhere between 85 and 95 for 45 minutes, and 80 to 90 for hour rides. So pushing myself really, really hard. My best 20-minute ride is 415 watts. My best 30-minute ride is about 630. My best 45-minute is like 860, and my best hour ride is 1120. So if you want to push yourself and try to kind of go after the numbers I'm putting up, I'd love to see you out there. Mayhem_light. Thank you for checking out the channel. As always, we appreciate you on here. If you haven't done so far, please hit that like and subscribe button. Get yourself a Peloton. Get out there, kick some ass, get your workouts going, and I hope to see you on the bike. I'll talk to you soon.